Okay, now we are back again in the next part here. What we need to do is open your project. So we stopped at here before. Okay, stop at here. So what we will do is let's come here underneath here. Okay, inside here, underneath here, I will pass my script here. We can say stack. We can pass here script. Okay, so this script here we will use the push. Inside here we can use push. So come inside the index here, and here, not here, outside here we can say push. So add push here, so we can pass here script, and here just let's check something else here. We can say document dot ready. You can pass something. Sorry, function. Hit this. Just pass alert and see whether our query is working fine or not. So come here and refresh this page. We have our jQuery. Our jQuery is working fine. Superb, right? So now the first thing that we need to do is okay, first thing we need to do is here. Now here will be our Firebase credential. Firebase credentials. Here. Okay, and the next one here will be, we can create student, and this one create student function, and this one we can be edit student function, update student function, and this one will be delete student function. Okay, we have this, should be the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we have all these five things here. Okay, here is our Firebase credential, our create student, edit student, update student and delete student. Okay, so and the last one here we can say send message function, and here clear input function. So we have this. Okay, so let's make it all the same function. So first let's start from here, come back here. Okay, now this is what we're gonna use now. Okay, this is what we're gonna use. Just you copy from here to here, you copy this, or you can even copy from this thing, copy from here, come here now, paste it here. Okay, so we paste this thing here now already. So here what we need to do is to bring this data from here. Okay, so we can use that here. So we can do this and pass the config variable here, config So inside the config here we have services dot firebase. If you forget, let's open here. Inside services here have this Firebase stuffs here. Okay, you can pass this thing here, copy these things. Okay, so I will use these things like so. Okay, so just come here, Firebase dot API key, the same key we should pass here. Okay, here we have this one. Okay, so come here again and copy this thing, paste it, copy this thing, paste it, copy, paste it, copy, paste, copy, paste, and paste. Here we have this. So change this, copy, paste it here, copy this, 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 paste it here. Now here is our Firebase. Now is linked, is connected already. Okay, so come here now, refresh this page, check, open the console. We have no error, right? Which means our Firebase is working fine. Okay, so the next step now we need to do is to create the records. Okay, so here I will need to pass something here. So if you don't forget, we use something like this form create here. Okay, here is the form create student, and click. Okay, so here we have this form here, and we have this create button here as well. Okay, and everything here, labels has their own IDs. Also we have ID gender and ID last name, ID first name. Okay, so we can use that ones here. So here is copy this, come here, paste it here, and now we can say on click function. Okay, pass here on click function here. So I need to have the okay, let's do something here. Let's say var first name equals to, so we can pass something like the first name variable ID. Okay, so we can say, maybe we can say just like document dot get element by ID. So here we're gonna say first name dot value. So get this, say last name get value, gender, class name. So get this one, paste it here, gender, paste it here. Okay, so now let's check something else. Alert first name, return false. To check something else, come here, refresh this page, enter anything, large, hit this. Okay, so if you enter anything here, you say YouTube, we're gonna have our value here, YouTube. Okay, so come back again here. What we need to do now, above here we need to pass something like value. So when we pass this value here, and we can do something like can say student raw data equals to, we can pass this form ID. See, form ID, copy this form ID from here and come here. When you copy this form ID from here, and now let's pass this thing. Okay, on this we can say something like document dot get element by ID, and pass this here, and dot we can pass something here, serialize. We can set array, we can do many things here. Okay, but for right now I will not. We can use serialize. You can use serialize with array. Okay, so it's a function. So when we do this, for example, so now if alert this, let's alert this thing here. Okay, come here and check what will happen. I do this, we have this, hit this thing here and hit this, we have this error because of the serialize is not a function. Okay, so we can just use something like remove this document.id here, pass this one with the ID, and use serialize with ID like so. Come here and refresh this page. I use the Chrome extension, hit this. See here, now we have the objects of our data, right? We have all the objects of our data. Okay, we have in all the data here. Okay, for example, we can use something like let's use the console.log. Okay, you will see everything, console.log, and pass this thing here, value, and come here, refresh this page, fill with fake filler, hit this, you have this data object. See, you have the, here is the first name, last name, gender, and the class ID. Okay, having everything now. Okay, go back again here. So we have this data. So let's do something else here, and create a ID that will be incremented in every new data inserted. Okay, so we can say var student ID equals to the index. We can say last student ID, last student index equals to, we can pass something plus 1 here. Okay, so we have this var student ID equals last student ID. You can say last student ID, you can pass equals to 1. Okay, so now here always we're gonna have this one. Okay, so here we can say validation. Here let's pass the validation here, so we can check here if if first name equals to null, so we can return something like alert. Okay, first name is required, so we can return false like so here. Else we can pass else if here. Else if, okay, last name is required, and we can do something here. Maybe we can say because if I want to do first name dot focus like so, and copy this, come here, paste it here, you can say last name dot focus. Else if, again copy, paste it here. Else if else if gender, you can say the gender is required. Gender is required. Gender. Else if, again here you can pass here something like class name. So this is class name. Class is required, so pass this class name here. Here is the validation part done. Okay, after validation part, insert into Firebase database. Okay, so here you're gonna say declare variables okay, create a unique ID. Here is the validation. So here is the creating insert into the Firebase. Now we can insert into the Firebase now. Okay, so here you can say Firebase, okay, Firebase dot database. So we create this database here, and we pass the ref here. We need to pass ref. So in this ref here, so I will create a, you can say student, okay, students here. So in this students here, we need to do something else here. Okay, student always pass this, and always close with the this ID, this student ID here. Okay, always pass with this student ID. Copy this, come here, paste it here. That is the student ID that we need to pass here. Okay, so we pass this, and the next one here, set is the function of data to add data inside our database. Okay, here we'll pass our variables here. Okay, so now here we can pass our variables. So we can say first name dot first name, pass like so. Okay, so here you're gonna say last name equals to last name, gender equals to gender. Here class name equals to class name. Okay, so here we have our data here. So after passing this here, we can close this, come here, and one thing we need to do here, we need to, here we can pass something like var. Maybe we can, yeah, let's just put it somewhere else. Here will be the global variable, so here will be global variable. Okay, so this variable here, you can say var, you can say table index equals to 0. Okay, table index equals to 0, so we will use this table index here, then we will assign this table index with this. Okay, we need to use this last student ID, bring that one here. Okay, last student ID is the global variable, and student ID here, student ID will be assigned to this one always. Okay, so we can, and now here afterwards here we need to pass, we need to assign that one here. Okay, so so we need to assign the, okay, the student ID to the last student ID variable. So here we can copy this here and just come here, paste it here, and we say equals to the student ID equals to this ID. Okay, copy this, paste it here. Okay, we have this thing now. Maybe I can, okay, so that we can able to close here. Okay, this is the validation part, this is closed, and now you can see we have insert data into the database. So now come here and refresh this page. Okay, we have error for this one. Okay, error, where is the error? First name here, this is the error. Okay, come here, should be this, it's not the array, should be object, sorry, should be object. Okay, it's not the array, we are passing an object, not an array. So here passing an object, not an array. So come here now, refresh this page. No, nothing here. So by check here, by default when we come here, this is our project, open it. Create database to any country if you want, so we're gonna use this one. Create, here is here the S mode one. So now we are here, Now here is our here is our database. Okay, our rules are here. You can see the rules. We have only two rules, read and create. Those are the two rules that we have. You can check here is our backup files, and we can do usage data. So come here now, refresh this page, hit this, save. We have error. Firebase is not Facebase, sorry, it should be Firebase. It should be Firebase. Okay, Firebase. Refresh this page. Come here, hit this, come back here, open your project settings. Here is the account here. Now click this here, download this, open it. Here is the data. Okay, so we have all the database URL. Okay, create Google API service. No, we don't need this. Here we need to add one thing again, which is the database URL. Come here, you can say database underscore URL. Okay, so the database URL, so we can pass here URL, so column, and then we just do this and just grab everything from here, paste it here. Okay, service, so we can say database URL, like so. Okay, so I need to come to the services here again, and underneath this here you can copy and paste one line here, and just copy this, copy from here, copy, come here, services, paste it here, and here you can say Firebase database URL, database URL. Okay, here is it, Firebase database URL. So Firebase database URL. So inside the .env file here, inside the .env file here, we need to pass another one here. So come down here, you can say services, this Firebase here, copy this, come here, paste it here, equals to, come to your Firebase here, inside the real-time database here, this is the URL that you need to copy this, and you come back here, paste it here. Here it's what you need, done. Okay, so when I come back here, I refresh this page now, we have no error. Hit this now, hit this, still have an error, and catch error. Firebase database is not a function. Database is not a function. So we need to pass something here. You can say var html equals to the empty array. We can give empty array for now, and now we can say, we can loop. Okay, now loop inside the student data. So here we can say loop. So the loop will be, so we can say each value function inside this value. Okay, so this is the student data. So we can say each student data. So we need to pass a function and index. The function will have two, right? So the function will have index and value. So we can say index and value. So this index will be the key of the value, and this here will be the value. Okay, so pass this for each here, and now we can do something here. So we can need to check if the snapshot is having data. Okay, so we can pass here if condition, say here if value, because we are getting this value here now. Okay, not this student data anymore. So we say if value, so we can pass our table here. So we can say html dot push. This push will be pushing the data for us here. So we can say something like so, this, and inside this here we need to pass tr. Okay, and then use this thing to come down, and here also we need to separate the data. You can say td, and the td will have this, and this will have value dot with the first name of this. So we can say something like this, and then we need to td need to have this. Okay, so we have that one. Copy and come here. We have now need to bring our last name here, and gender need to be here, and the last but not least would be the class name. Okay, so we have this thing here. Okay, so we can do something else here. So for example, this is the td here, and I can able to close the tr from here as well. Okay, so when we close the tr from here, we can do this, and now I can pass the index of the table from this table. Where is it? This one. Close it, and this is the form. Add form. Close this. So in this id here, this is the id. Copy this id. Copy. Come down here. Here we could do something here. Okay, so just pass the id here dot html. Pass which html do you need to pass here? Pass this empty html here. You can pass this empty, or we can say table data. Okay, table data is here, so you can pass table data here, and then now pass this table data here. Okay, so we pass this one here. So let's check what will happen here. Refresh this page. See, we have Alaji, Singhateh, mail, and this. Okay, and but here we need to pass something, the index. Okay, come here, pass index, just pass index like so. Index would be like this, and refresh this page. We have 1, 2 and 3. Okay, which are this. See, data is coming fine. So now we need to have the actions now. Okay, so come here, table here, we need to pass here action. This is the action, and we can come here and do one thing like this, and underneath this just pass something else which will be like this, and we can do something similar to this. So we can do something like button, and then inside the button here you can pass here class of the button, btn. We can say primary, bt, just primary btn sm, and then here we can say edit, and now here we can say button close like so here, and we can pass here nbsp. So we need this to give some space between the two buttons, and now we can do this. Okay, and just copy this, come here, and we need to pass this one, it will be the delete section. Okay, this one will be the delete, and this will be danger. Okay, so let's check it out. Come here, refresh this page. We having this. Okay, hit this. Now you see have these two buttons. This is the male and female, this one and this one. Okay, so it's not working for now, so let's add some data to it. So come here, so you can say data id. Okay, so here just pass these two arguments here, and then here pass index, because index is the key that we are having from here. Okay, get this index here. Okay, so this is the data id with the index, and this one also we need to pass here is the index. Another one is data name equals to, pass this one again, and then use value dot first name like so. Okay, so and now let's add IDs in here. Okay, edit student, like this. Okay, and this one will be delete student, edit student and delete student. Okay, so after we have these two here, now here is the edit section. Here we can pass the edit section here. Come here, add a function here, make something like this, and say edit student. Okay, here is the edit, so you pass and click here, click function, and then we just do this. Okay, so we just need this data. Okay, we just need this one again. Okay, and I need to use this data. Okay, so copy this data from here. Okay, and just come here, paste it inside here. Okay, we have this data. Okay, whenever we click, I need to have the data from there. That is the edit function. Okay, so console.log_edit. Okay, so but here we need to pass here, so we say we can pass edit student ID equals to 0 always. Okay, then the body, click edit function, then need to update ID equals to, so this ID will be assigned to something else here. Okay, you can pass something else here, update ID. And now we can just come here and do this update ID equals to this pass this attn attribute, so we can pass here the data ID that we get from here. This is the ID, this data ID. Okay, so index, we can pass it here and check it. Let's check what we are having here, and come here, do this. Okay, we pass this data and come here, refresh this page. Here, hit this, you have an error. Hit this, nothing is coming. Click, hit this, it's not coming. It's unclick here. This student, and click function. Okay, so we can say something like this. What I will do is I will just bring the body here. This is the body of the data, and we just click here and pass the ID of the ID of this data and do this. So let's check it out and come here, refresh this page. Hit this, we have ID now. This one is ID 2, ID 3. Okay, now it's working. We have these 3. Now what we need to do is we need to assign this. We assign it already. Okay, so this ID will able to edit the student for us. Okay, so when we edit the student, so we passed all this thing here, and but before that, what I will do is, you know, this thing is having the values, but I think I don't need this. Let's come here. Where is the create student button here? This is the create function. This data, this here, this thing. Okay, so I will use the same thing like this. Okay, but should be the snapshot here. Okay, just I copy this thing from here, copy this and come here just paste this thing here and close this thing like this. Okay, so inside this thing now we need to pass data to create our function. Okay, so we need to pass here, instead of passing this here reference data, we have this database here reference student, and we need to pass here the ID of the student now. Okay, so pass here this edit ID will be here, and we get this one here. Okay, now we can pass here the function and the snapshot. Here is the value of the snapshot. We can get the snapshot from here. Okay, so when we get the snapshot from here, we can able to assign those snapshot to these variables. So paste this variable here, remove this ones, we don't need this, so we can able to assign this to this new variable so that we can able to work with it. Okay, we don't need this here, so just in case we just need to do it like this. But now instead of this, I will pass this data along with the variable like so. So we will do it like this. So copy, paste this thing, close this one, paste this one, and close this one here. Okay, so now we have the data from the snapshot. Okay, so it will be like this. After that, what we need to do is let's try to refresh the page and see whether okay, everything is working fine. See, but we having error on the value. Okay, so the value of null, we are passing the value of null in the database. Okay, so come here, do something like this. So we need to see values. Let's do something here and check console.log this student data, see whether it is coming or not. Edit, yeah, it's coming fine. Edit, it's coming fine. Edit, this one also is coming fine. So here is the problem. The problem is we can't able to use this type of thing here, document already, we can't able to use it. Okay, so what I will do here now, oops, sorry, instead of this you see we do have error here, so it should be like this, first name and the value, this value it can't be function, so let's remove this, make it like this. Okay, with the val and pass this inside here. Okay, so it is the only way we can able to work this thing. So remove this one also and pass your ID and say last name and then the val and pass this student data dot last name. Okay, and the next one also is the same procedure. Remove this one, paste this one, and remove this one, paste this one. So here will be the gender, and come here, pass the gender on this one, and here is the class name, and come here, paste the class name here. So let's check it out now. By default, what we're gonna have, click edit. You see now we have our data inside our form here. So now we can able to edit the data. Okay, you see everything is working fine. So now the next step is, whenever I click this data, I need to update this here. So how to do that? Let's go back to the form section here. Here's the form section here, and I will copy this below, paste it again. So here you're gonna say update student button. Here we'll say cancel student button. Okay, you're gonna say cancel. Here will be update. So here we can say something like warning. Here we can say default. Okay, so I need to pass class here. Okay, let's pass style. We need to do something. We can say display none, and copy this one also, paste it here. So come here and refresh this page. We still having this. Okay, so now what we need to do is, whenever we click this not fetch, whenever we click here the edit button here, I need to hide the other function here. So what I will do is come here and bring that create student button here, create student button, and here I need to hide it. So we need to hide this one. So we need to play here display along with none. Okay, so and the next one here will be update. Let's show the update now. Update display block. Okay, and the cancel also, the cancel button also, let's show it display block. Okay, come here and try to refresh this page now. Hit this, still working, it's still not working. So what we need to do is, this would work. Okay, this is the display none. Okay, update, this is cancel button, update button, update button, display block, and here is the cancel button also, display block, but it's not coming. just do it like this. So hopefully now it will work fine. Come here, try to refresh, hit this one, it's changed. See, we have in data now. So when I click this one, I want it to go back to this section here. So here we're gonna say, here is the clear function. So I come here to add the function cancel update. Okay, so this here is the cancel update. So we can do something like this here as well. So what I will do is this here, I will bring this one block, and this one will be in non position like this. Okay, and now the next thing that we need to do is declare the let's clear these things, like something we can clear the form. Okay, so here you should clear the form. Here will be the form ID. Come here, we have the form ID here, the form ID. This, copy this and come again here, paste this thing here. And now to clear the form ID, what you need to do is to pass the ID here, and now we can do something like so, do this, and here, because the form here, the form is having two elements, so we can pass both elements here, and the first element will be the input and the second element will be the select option. So we can pass both here, like input and select option. Okay, so this will clear the form for us. So, and this is a function, and whenever I click this clear, okay, the cancel student button. Okay, so whenever I click it and click function, I want to erase this, bring this function here. Okay, so and this function also will work with here inside the create here, inside create. Here is the create here. Inside create, whenever we create here, this function will work as well. Okay, so we can paste this one here. So let's check and see. When I click this, hit this, it's going back. You see, everything is empty. It's working fine. So let's create a new record. See, here our record is creating successfully. Okay, but our record is not creating. When I click this, it's updating. So it's updating this data. This second data here is updating this data. So you see, it's updating this one now. Okay, so we have this error now. Let's fix this. Now it's creating now, but we don't need that to happen. Okay, for example, we don't need that to happen. When I click this, it's bringing data fine, but when I close this thing, it's working. But when I want to add a new record, it will update instead of creating the record. You see, is still having this ID in the hood here. So let's remove that. So you can come here, and where is the fetch? Fetch here, and after this table here, cut this from here, bring it here. Here we need to pass this student ID, this last student ID, bring it here and equals to the index. Okay, so we pass this last student ID equals to the index, and we pass this one here. So that's it. So we can do this. Refresh this page, hit this, it will not work. Clear and add new record. See, now it's working fine. Okay, so whenever I clear this, edit, so edit this, add new record. Now see, here is the new record now. Okay, so we can able to edit this. So now let's work with the edit function here. Okay, when I click this thing, it will not work. So come here, update section here. Okay, so you need to get this update here. Here is the update, but here we need on click. Okay, on click function, on click function, this function will work with this update here, but the update is all similar with the create, right? So what we need to do is we need to take from the create and pass it inside the update, because they are very similar, so we can use those type of stuffs. Okay, so just come to the create here, edit, close the edit here. Now we are done with the edit. Update, here is the fetch, and create, here is the insert to database. So it will be the same thing, right? So just copy everything from here. Okay, just copy everything from here. Copy this, just come to the update here, paste inside the update. Okay, so here is the update that we have in. So we can check and see what will be the solution for that. Okay, so this is edit, update CSS, update and click. So here we unclick this, we have this same data from there. Okay, and now the first name also gonna be there, and the value is gonna be this value that we get from data. Okay, so we can just make it so simple. We can just make it like these ones that we get from the edit. Where is the edit? Here, get these values and place it here. Okay, so we have this. So now we can able to edit or update this data inside our database. Okay, so here is the data. So after getting all these things, so we can, here we don't need to assign anything from here. Remove this. Here is the validation. Still we are using the validation here. Okay, so and inside and update now, update into Firebase database. Okay, so here let's create a new, you can say update student data. So we can pass this thing with an object. So this object will be the things that we were gonna use to do this. So pass this first name gonna be here. Okay, so the first name will be using with the values. Okay, with this. Okay, so we can pass this one and say, why not we just use this first name array 0 dot, we can pass something like value. Okay, so here is the value that we're gonna pass to this. Okay, so this one will be the last name, and the last name will be here, and we'll assign the last name to this. And here is the gender also, get it and assign it to this. Here will be array 1 and index 2, and this class name also, pass this class name here to be index 3. Okay, so we have the index 3 of this. Okay, close it. So after this, now update here, we can add another var with the updates equals to update will be this will be empty object. So this empty object here, we need to pass the updates there. Okay, so what we can do here, we can say something like updating student data. Okay, so come here, paste this thing here, and we passed with array, and then use student table, students or students. Okay, so we can use the concatenate here, and can able to use the ID, the updated ID. Okay, updated ID, this is ID that we're gonna pass. Which ID? Where is the ID? Updated ID. This is edited ID, this one. Okay, and bring it inside here. Hey, okay, so when we do it like this, and now we can able to, because we are passing an array, so now the array can able to assign with this data here. Assign this data with this. So now we can pass the Firebase to to update this data. Remove this, and now we need to just Firebase to update the data for us. We don't need to pass any set here. We don't need to pass anything in the Firebase here. Okay, what we just need to pass is remove all these things and remove all these things. Okay, and now what we need to do is update method. So we say update this data for us, update this update this one for us. Okay, updating this one. Okay, then after update we should have this in here like so. Okay, let's check and see. Refresh this page, edit, 2 3 update. It's not working. Seems we have an error on that. Okay, student data is not defined. Student data is not defined in which function. First name, student row data. It's not student data, it's student row data. So we can just change this into student data like this and come here, hit refresh. Okay, edit 3. Think it's not editing, we have error. I cannot read the value. Value of undefined. Here is the value of undefined. Here is the value. It cannot read it. So what we will do is, instead of this, now I will just use this data here. Okay, like this. Okay, student data, which is from this thing here. So hit this thing to refresh. Okay, hit this 1 2 3 update. Still having error. Edit student ID is not defined. Yes, that's true. Come here, edit student ID is not defined, which is this is not defined. So let's define it, which is not defined. This should be outside here. This is here. It's a global. Here is a global variable. This one, edit student ID. So now when we come here, refresh this page and edit, it should work. Now it's working. See, we have this one, and we can able to edit it back here. Edit this thing back with allergy. So see, this also an allergy. We have this one. Okay, so we can able to edit this one, say channel, and hit this channel, and it's working fine. So we can edit the class to class A. It's working fine. Okay, so now we can able to create, we can able to create a new data, and we can able to view, and we can able to edit the data. Okay, so the next step is let's delete the data. Okay, let's delete it from the database. Okay, but here I will need a model. Right, I will need a model here. Open here Bootstrap, here say model danger. So open model, this kind of model. I will use this model. Copy this model and come here inside the delete here, paste this thing here. Okay, so here we have the model already. Okay, and the class is this. So we can add, maybe we can add an ID to it. ID, so you can say delete student like this. So delete student model maybe. So here is better, and now you can add the BG color to be danger, and the text also need to be, you can say, white. Okay, so just come here and refresh this page. Still working fine, right? And what we will do now is, here is the ID. So whenever I click this thing, I need to show up the model, right? So come to this index, this edit is done, update also is done. So here is delete here. Okay, so we can pass this here, say delete student button, I think. Yeah, so here is say unclick function. Okay, so pass, let's say model delete model should be shown now. Okay, so and here now what we're gonna do is I don't want to, let's use the body on click, so we can pass this thing here and do this. So here now refresh the page, and when I hit this, it's not working because I think I didn't create anything such as this in the, here we have, we don't have, okay, we have, this is the ID. Copy the ID and come here, paste this thing here. Okay, so if I refresh this page and hit this, it's not showing up. Okay, so here is the model. Here is model show. It's unclick, but it's not working. The body unclick function, delete this. So let's check alert 1 is working with the alert 1, but the model is not opening. So here is the model should need to be open. Bootstrap model open, but Bootstrap model is not opening. Why Bootstrap model is not opening? Why that? Come to delete. Yeah, because we don't have, let's include the delete here. Firebase fetch, and here, okay, here include the students dot delete. This is the model that we pass here. Okay, so come here, refresh this page and hit this. The model is coming now. Fine. Okay, the model is opening. Fine. You can able to close the model. Model is here. Okay. So come back again here, and underneath this one here, we don't need this anymore. And now here is the model is showing up now. Now we can able to delete from that ID that's showing up here. So what we will do is okay, you can say student ID equals to pass this data ID like so. So we have this thing, and now we can able to delete this from here. Okay. For example, we have this thing here. Okay, so you can say, are you sure you want to delete this student? Are you sure you want to delete student? And pass here span with class ID or something else. So you can say student name. Okay, so we have this one. I say you want to delete this student, the student name, this. So this, come back here and do like this. This will be text. Now the values will be inside here. Okay, so we can say something like this name. Okay, so come here. Okay, do this like this. So now we see, are you sure you want to delete student Ocean? Are you sure you want to delete student to the Miranda? Are you sure you want to delete this? So all is coming fine. So now the next step is to click this delete so that you can able to delete this data. Okay, so when I click this, come here, now we get this data, so we can able to remove the data from there. Okay, so here, and now come here, just append ID inside the model. Okay, so you can just say like this. Here I can say something like so, body that find, we need to find this data. Okay, so this delete mode here is delete model. Okay, it's an ID. Okay, so the ID is finding, and now we can append this input inside here. So you can say input type will be hidden. type equals to hidden, and then the name will be equals to id, name will be student id, and now the id also we can pass the value will be something like id, okay, or something else. So you can we don't even need this. I think we don't need this one. I need it, so let's come here, say value equals to this, okay, then pass this student id there. This is the student id that you're gonna pass inside this input here, okay. So you get this data, fine, okay. So when we click this, we get this data of this user, okay. So this will be we can say something like open open delete open delete model, maybe open delete student model, maybe. So when I come here, I can change where is the fetch here, this here, paste this one here, okay. Now it's changed to this open student delete model, and now underneath here I need to pass the actual delete action here. You're gonna say delete student data, pass here now and click function. So this will perform the data for us. So this id, copy this id, come delete button here is save changes, so we need to say delete, so danger, and the id here, paste this id here, okay. So we have this thing, and come back here again inside this, okay. What I need to do is I will just use the value of the id that we get from there, okay. So we can just say value, okay, say we just say student data equals to this, here is the model, this model, okay, this model id, okay. So we need to pass the serialized, just like we did in this one, also serialized array, okay. So pass the serialized array in this one also, okay, serialized array. So and the next one here we need to pass here student data, student id, student, we pass student id, and we assign the student ID with the value that we get from the data, from this data here. Okay, so we can say value 0 dot value. Okay, so we get this, and now the next step we need to press Firebase that database function dot ref, and this ref we're gonna do this first, and we can pass something like dot remove. Okay, so this remove is a function for the Firebase to remove this data for us. So here, let's pass here students and do this, and plus the student ID in here. Okay, and after that let's hide the model and let's pass something else. Okay, so that you can hide this model by passing this here, model height. So let's check it out. Do this, refresh this page. Let's remove this first, delete. Are you sure? It's not working. Check it out. Why we having this? Because the value is undefined. So student data, the value is undefined. Where is the value data? Here is the serialized array, so you can check something, remove. Okay, let's return false. Okay, console.log this student ID. Refresh this page. Okay, did this. Okay, so I can read the property value of this here. So we are not having any value from this as for now, because this thing is not appending any data for us. Okay, this should append the data for us, but it's not appending any data for us, which is the name of this. So you can check here. Element, we need to have something called student ID. If paragraph here is the student ID that we append, and the value is 1. Okay, what is bringing this thing outside the loop? Here is the student ID that we append. It should work, but we having this error, value of undefined. Value of undefined this data. Okay, copy this and bring this thing here. So we need to check, find this, the body need to find another one again. So we can find this input, find the input here and remove it again. But still now we are having set values is not defined. Still we have this uncatch reference. This value is not string ID. Value is not defined. So it means we values of this array. This is the array string data. Check it out. Undefined value. Anonymous. Let's check something else here. Okay, refresh this page. Do we having any value here? We don't have any value from here. You see, the append value is not coming, so we need to do something else for that. Okay, so we can do something like so here what I will do is, let's come here and add something to this here. For example, we can say input type hidden, name maybe student ID, and ID also will be student ID. Okay, so here we'll be working for that. So let's just come here again and just this inside body is, we don't even need to find anything here. Just remove this thing and just say student ID dot value equals to this ID. Okay, so find student body, find student ID and pass this ID to it. So let's check what we're gonna have now. Still having no data from there. Console is having no data from this. Okay, this is the name, student ID, input type hidden, name, student ID, and check something is not working fine here. Let's check this. Here is the value. Now here is the value. We have value of 1. Okay, so when I do this, we have value of 3. It's working, but why this thing, why we are having undefined value? This is student. Click function here. Student ID. Oops. Okay, nothing is coming. That's why student ID is, oh wait, this is empty, this is open. Okay, so what we need to this should be, we don't even need this anymore. We just need to find this one only. So this will be the data that we are looking for. Okay, so we can say this here, this that value. So we can say where student ID is equals to this dot value. Okay, so this dot value will be based on that and will give us this data to it, so we can able to erase from there. So come here now and refresh this data. Okay, do this with this. We have 2. See, now we have 2, and if I come here hit this, we have 3. Okay, 3, and if I come here I hit this, we have 6. So now we can able to delete the data from this ID. Okay, we don't even need this here. Okay, so we can just go straight to it and remove. We don't even, yeah, we don't even need to remove this thing here after deleting it. So we can able, yeah, just remove that one. Oops, sorry. Come here, refresh this page. Remove this user. It's removed successfully. You see, we have ID 2 now. Okay, so if I do this, ID 3 now, ID 6 is removed, ID 8 also is removed, and ID 5 also is removed. See, you can remove everything from here like so, like this. Everything is removed successfully, and we can able to add a new data to it. Here is ID 31. Add another one, ID 31. Add another one, ID 31 index. This is the index that we are getting from this. The index is so crazy. This is the index. Okay, data index plus this index. Okay, here is the index, so you can say index like so. Okay, and if I come here, I hit this, that one is deleted, and this one also is deleted, this one also is deleted. Fine. So now let's work with the messaging section. Okay, message section here. Okay, copy this function msg session, so we can pass here msg. Okay, and do this. And now whenever this thing happen, I need to pass something like say timeout. Okay, you can set interval, or you can say set the timeout. So this set timeout 3000 milliseconds. So this will be removing this data for us. So we need to pass something here. We say msg id. So this here I need to have some value on it, so you can say msg id.css. So you say display, you can say display block, and this. And now we can say something also, say msg body css display block. Okay, not css, but we can pass here text. So this text will belongs to, this is the text that we are passing here. Okay, so and now this one also, here we can pass this thing here. So now this one you can say none, and here the text gonna be empty. Okay, like so. It should be like this. So whenever I come here, like delete here, if this thing is deleted successfully, so we can pass here message. Here you can say student deleted successfully, like so. Okay, student deleted successfully, and just copy this one again and come to the updated section here. After updating complete, so you can say student updated successfully. After that one also, here is the create on section, fetch create section here. So you can say student created successfully. Okay, and now let's create this here. Let's create this above here. You can pass here, and we will just say let success, and the id will be what? msg. What is the id? msg id. msg id. Inside this I have something like with an id. Okay, this id will be something like msg body. So whenever this thing happens, here we have this thing, but it should be like, if I add a new record here, see this thing successfully created successfully, and it will remove. But here is by default, this needs to be style display none, and the class here you can just make something like class text white. So whenever we do this hit, we have student create successfully, and when we edit this thing to class A, update, student update successfully, and when we deleted this, student deleted successfully. Okay, so all our stuffs are working fine. Okay, so now what we will do is, let's pass here and h4. You can say class class of what? Class, we can say text uppercase, Laravel Firebase CRUD, step by step. So if I refresh this page, we have this thing here. Okay, so we can even make it down, margin bottom we can say 10, and margin top we can say 4. So here is it, but 10 is not working. 5 works, and margin top also you can use here 5. Okay, so you have this thing, and maybe we can say 2 of margin bottom. Yeah, it's working like this, and like it. So here you can able to create a new record from this, add another one also, add another one also, because nothing is added, add another one also. If I click this, you see we have this data, and add another one also is created. If I click this, you have this data, add another one also, able to edit, sorry, many, this updated, remove this thing, updated. So thank you for watching, and we will get back to you in the next video. Thank you.